Hey, thanks for clicking today. This season, we have received some absolutely wild origin traits that are genuinely game-changing. Like, the effects I'm talking about are exotic weapon type stuff. And with as good as they are, if you showed me what I'm about to show you, I'd probably tell you it's a new perk or, again, some new exotic. So, there are two origin traits I'm going to talk about today. Both origin traits are actually pretty rare, which makes sense for how cool they are. These two new awesome origin traits are Wildcard and Cursed Thrall. I'm going to cover Wildcard first, as I have not seen a single soul talk about it. And then after Wildcard, I'll talk about Cursed Thrall, which, even if you've read about Cursed Thrall or you already have some guns with it, there's some hidden slash unwritten effects that anyone looking to grind the new raid should be aware of. So again, starting with Wildcard, first up, before we really get deep into it, you're gonna have to forgive the weird gameplay. The only weapon I've got that actually has this origin trait is a sniper rifle. Not the ideal ad clear slaying weapon. But let's actually go over why I don't have anything better by looking at what weapons it comes on. So right now, during Season of the Witch, it rolls on 7 weapons total. 2 of these are world drops, which means getting them is totally random and it's based on luck, which mine's not great. These 2 world drop weapons are the Nox Perennial Strand Fusion Rifle and the Psi Hermetic Stasis Pulse Rifle. Then, moving on, we have the Seasonal Playlist weapon, and this weapon is the Malediction, which you can get by leveling up Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit. So yeah, you gotta grind to get that. But then we have the final 4, which come from specific activities, with Point of the Stag being from Iron Banner, which starts today, by the way, Pre-Astyanax, I think I'm saying that right, from Nightfalls, and the Quazaphon from Gambit. Not sure if I said either of those names right. And then finally, we have the Luna Regolith coming from Strikes. This is the gun you're seeing in the background. So now that we know what has this new origin trait, let's get into the actual origin trait itself. So, Wildcard reads, final blows with this weapon have a chance to create experimental sub-munitions at the target's location. When I first read this, I had literally no clue what that meant. And genuinely, that's kind of why I'm making this video. Experimental sub-munitions are the main focus. And as for what they are exactly, well, they're these. And I'd totally forgive you if you thought these were solar orbs, because they look really, really similar. But cool, you can spawn a ball from a kill. But what does the ball actually do? Well, it's essentially a small proximity mine. As you can see, and might have made out from the background footage, when experimental sub-munitions spawn, and an enemy gets close, they explode and deal damage. And while these experimental sub-munitions don't do crazy damage, there is another feature of this origin trait that makes them a little bit more interesting and worthwhile. And that secret slash unwritten trait is that you can spawn way more than one sub-munition. Depending on the rank of enemy you kill, more sub-munitions spawn, which leads to much more damage and lethality, especially for those little red bars that walk over them. I don't know what the actual amount of experimental sub-munitions is for each rank of enemy, but I imagine it probably just gets exponentially larger, and with red bars you only get one. Now as for the practicality of it, first thing, PvP, I have no clue how this would work, so I'll let the PvP heads figure that out. But in PvE, it's definitely one of the coolest origin traits out there, and extra lethality off of an origin trait is pretty much entirely new to this season, and entirely unique, excluding the other origin trait we're going to talk about today. As for the weapons I'm trying to get it on, I'm specifically looking for a primary weapon, and definitely not this sniper. So I'll be grinding both Nightfalls and Iron Banner in the hopes of getting one of the bows that drops with Wildcard. And I'd honestly recommend you do the same, and at the very least from this video, now you know when you see an elemental orb you can't pick up, it's one of those funky experimental sub-munitions. So that's Wildcard done, but now moving on to our next exotic level origin trait, we have the new raid origin trait, First Thrall. And this trait is actually nuts. As you can imagine, it comes on all of the new Crotas and weapons. And as for its effect, the origin trait reads, after defeating a target with a melee attack, final blows of this weapon cause targets to explode for a short duration. And to clarify, these melee attacks can be any kind, from unpowered to powered. And as for the short duration, it lasts 7 seconds, which, in my opinion, isn't that short. And if you choose this artifact perk, it doubles the time that the perk lasts from 7 to 14 seconds. But now let's get into the juicy boom talk. After getting a melee attack, all kills proc this pretty huge Thrall explosion, which, in comparison to other origin traits, this is in a league of its own. It's any kill, from body shots to precision kills, and it can proc as many times as things die before your timer runs out. And of course, you could just refresh that with another melee kill. There's no one kill, one explosion. It's honestly pretty much the Necrochasm exotic perk, but instead of a headshot, it's just a plain old kill. But where we can really get more mileage out of this origin trait comes from the understanding of how it works and synergizes with the other perks the weapons roll with. Any kill the explosions from the origin trait get indeed count as weapon kills, meaning from getting one single kill that explodes, you just turned that one kill into multiple. And all of the perks respect that, meaning things like Feeding Frenzy or Demolitionist are going to be proccing like crazy when you factor in all of these extra kills. I think my favorite perk I'm going to combo with this exotic level origin trait is Pugilist. Because as I said in the beginning, powered melees, unpowered melees, they all count. So you get your melee kill with your melee build, and then all of a sudden, your gun is an ad clear machine that gives you melee back. Yeah, it's pretty insane. And there's a million more combinations that could be even more potent than that. But I think that's about it. With Season of the Witch, we've got 2 new origin traits that are actually kind of mind-boggling. And I've got high hopes for the origin traits that are coming next season and even in final shape. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of these 2 origin traits. Do you have any weapons with them? Or are you waiting for a specific weapon to come out so you can grind for it? And as always, if you want to support me and support this channel, a like, a comment, a subscription, it helps so much. I'm on my way to 6,000 subscribers, and I'd love to hit that goal. But if you'd like to support me, and you can't think of a comment down below, origin trait. And with that, as I say in every single video, I hope you are having a great day, and I hope to see you around.